Hey yo guys, what's going on? Bills on Wheels here. Got a little video here of when we went to Japan, basically paid for my mum's birthday trip, bit of a privilege to do. The first bit of this video, I'll be talking over about the start of the trip of Japan that we done. The second bit will be us walking around local areas. We stayed in Tokyo for 10 days. Obviously I mentioned that I paid for my mum's holiday, so I paid for myself. I split it between my girlfriend. There was 4 of us that went essentially. We also went for my girlfriend's birthday as well, which was also a treat because my mum and my girlfriend share the same birthday, surprisingly. It was about £870 per person, which is fairly cheap. I had to use like 2 different websites to price it up, which wasn't too bad considering like when I was younger thinking about going to Japan. I was thinking like 3 grand just for the trip, but 870 is a lot, but it's a good amount, especially celebrating like my mum's birthday, my girlfriend's birthday, and just going to a country I wanted to go to. We flew from Gatwick to Beijing, then to Narita airport, which was about 30 minutes as well after that to get to our hotel from Narita airport, because we went on the Kensai line, the KS line. Fairly easy to understand and work the train lines. Just the fact that one of the train stations, the platforms were like a bit confusing, but apart from that it was pretty much fine. Flying home, we actually stopped at Shanghai instead of Beijing, so we had like a 2.5/3.5 hour layover in both countries. Weren't too long, but it did like delay like us in that sense, but to be honest, you're going to Japan, you're going to a nice country, I'm not complaining. So the flight from London Gatwick to Beijing, that was about 17 hours worth of flying, and then from Narita back to London Gatwick with the stop off at Shanghai, it basically made it 18.5. Going back to where we stayed actually in Japan, it was really nice. Basically we were like a few stops from the main locations like Shinjuku, Akihabara, basically main city Tokyo, which we did get to explore, and I actually recorded some videos on as well. So there's going to be some videos that I've recorded during them times that we've been there, just as like a day out or something we've done. We also went Disneyland. Unfortunately the day that we did go to Disneyland it did rain, so we didn't really do too much recording. If anything, I would probably just make like a little mini clip of it just to show that we did it basically, but it was okay. Nothing too amazing. I think the rain did kill the vibe a bit, but we did like walk around. It felt like Disneyland was trying to sell you more things and actually like see things and do things, which I've never been to a Disneyland. That was the first Disneyland I went to, so I can't really say otherwise. To be fair, it was okay. We went on literally one ride, which is the Mini World one, I think it is. It's like basically got like puppets and they're everywhere and they're themed off like different countries. That would be a perfect idea for a horror movie. That ride alone creeped the hell out of me. Where we stayed, we were staying in between 2 train stations. We were visiting one of the main areas where it had like one of the bigger train station sections, and it had like a shopping center, shops all around it. The walk there was nice, the actual shopping area was nice. There was a Don Quijote there. We didn't actually realize it was Don Quijote until we was actually in it, surprisingly. I didn't record anything in there. I recorded us walking up to the train station a bit and around the train station area, and actually we went into that shopping center a different day. Something we noticed a lot about the shopping centers in Japan was they look small on the outside, but then when you go into them they're massive. They have multiple floors. They look surprising. Like in England you got a shopping center, it's spread out, it doesn't look tall, there doesn't look to be many shops in there. There's actually surprisingly 2 shopping centers, one a little bit about 5 minutes away from where we were staying, and another one was about like 10-15 minute walk from where we were staying. The one that was closest to us was actually surprisingly big, like very big. It had like 6 floors, but outside of it there was like a McDonald's. There was an inside section where it had like a fruit shops, like restaurants as well, just shops. Like basically the shopping centers that we actually went to were surprisingly bigger. The shopping center that really surprised me was the Tokyo Skytree one. Essentially when you come in from the underground, you go up some escalators that cross each each other, which looked kind of sick. And then you actually get to like a row of shops, and then there's like a section that's outside with like a little statue, and then you can see the actual tower, and then you go back into different floors and there's multiple different shops. I did actually record us going around these locations as well, and I don't think I was meant to record. It was only after we went out the building that I saw it said no recording, so no security come up to me, no one said anything to me. The staff in there were like, didn't seem mad. If someone said, oh, stop recording, I would have stopped, but no one came up to me and told me, so I kind of was like a bit discreet with it as well, because obviously going around places, you don't want to stick a camera in someone's face and that. But overall, like, this trip was amazing. It was a privilege for myself and a privilege to treat my mum as well, especially for her 50th birthday, to do something nice. It was one of a kind. You don't celebrate your 50th birthday every year, so it's like I wanted to treat my mum. And I remember she posted on Facebook like 2011, maybe even earlier than that. She said, oh, I'd love to go to Japan or something like that, and then that sparked it in me to be like, okay, this is something that I need to do for my mum. Like, no matter what stage in my life I'm at, my mum has to go to Japan, because it's just going to be an experience. I love Japan's culture as well, so it's something that I've always wanted to do. And then my girlfriend, I've gotten her into anime recently as well. Well, before this, she was getting into anime and Pokemon cards as well now. So it was a bit of an experience for us as well. So it's something that we wanted to do together. Because I see a lot of people do tips as well. So some of my tips actually would be basically looking in your local area for your own currency exchange stores before going to these places about a month before, just to see like where the exchange rate is, because don't do it at the airports. Essentially, a month before we flew out, me and my girlfriend actually went to a currency exchange store, and we actually exchanged pounds into yen a month before, and they gave us a really good rate. I think it was about 0.8, whereas we went to the airport and they gave us 0.7, 0.65, something around that mark. And it was like, we lose out, we don't maximize our money as much as we hope to, so we did have to pay a little bit more to round it up to certain numbers, because that's how it kind of works out. You have to round it up when doing these exchanges. So I highly recommend going to your local exchange stores, look around online, like the local ones, just to basically get a good price for you to what you want to maximize as much as possible. My second advice would be getting an eSIM before flying out, not even at the airport or once you land in the country. Definitely get the eSIM before you fly out, depending on how long you're flying out for. If you're doing 30 days, 15 days, 10 days, that's some of the days that I was seeing, like 5 days as well, or 8 days. So we stayed for 10 days, so we done 13 days or 15 days just to make sure. I highly recommend doing this. So when you connect to some train stations and some airports, it will only give you the airport or train station website, and you can't really do much with that, especially if you're trying to buy an eSIM from a different website. It won't allow you to do that really. And my suggestion is definitely buy an eSIM before you fly out, because also I think I paid £30 for a 10-day SIM, but then when I actually got in Japan, we had to wait until we got to the to our hotel actually for me to be able to get my girlfriend an eSIM, because we got one at the airport. It didn't activate properly at the airport, and it was a bit of a headache, so we had to do it when we got back to the hotel we were staying at, and it cost me £15 for the same amount of days, for the same amount of data. So it's definitely worth doing it before, and trying to find the cheapest price would be the best option as well. The cheaper can mean better, but I would say just look around and definitely get the eSIM before flying out. The third tip would be use any translator app that you can use, essentially. If that's on your phone, a smartwatch, anything basically that will allow you to communicate with others in a different language. Because yes, communication was fairly easy most of the time, but there were times where the communication barrier or hand signals didn't like work out when we were trying to explain something or ask for something. There were quite a few places where we went to and they would have like an English menu, or there would be someone that spoke English. I remember we were walking back from one of the train stations to our hotel, and I was wearing a One Piece t-shirt, and some guy was like, oh, nice One Piece t-shirt, and so on. We were actually having a little conversation, even though the language barrier was there. For example, I went to a restaurant and the staff spoke a bit of English, so it was a bit easy to communicate to them, but then they were like struggling to understand what we were trying to say, so I just got Google Translate out and translated it through there as well, or even like at certain shops as well. So some places do have a lot of people that will speak English, or that there'll be certain people in stores that will speak English, but then obviously you can't always assume basically someone's going to be there that speaks the same language as you or understands what you're trying to say. So having that translator app is basically just an easier way to communicate, even though sometimes translator apps can be a bit hit and miss, especially like depending on what you're trying to say. Some sentences can be a bit broken and stuff like that, and if your spellings are bad like mine, it can be a bit of an issue, as well as if you're a slow typer. That did happen at one time where we were just waiting for me to type and Cash just standing there looking confused. My fourth tip would be to travel light. We were very wise in packing. Basically, in our package where we flew, we done flight and hotel combined, had a carry-on bag, cabin bag, and 2 check-in luggages that were 23 kg each. What we did was we packed our cabin bag, our carry-on bag, and our one suitcase, one medium to small suitcase essentially. This allowed us to take all our clothes for the time. Best way to do this is take out all our clothes when we get to Japan, buy a suitcase when we're out there, which was a smart move because we all brought a suitcase extra when out in Japan, which are fairly cheap compared to like London. They're like 50 to 70 pound in certain shops, whereas in Japan you could pay like 40 pound for 2 suitcases that are big, and depending on where you go as well, like some places like had decent sized ones for like 40, 30 pound, which just seems a good deal. So I highly recommend packing light when flying out because it's easier as well. When you're going to your apartment or your hotel or wherever you're staying, basically it will allow you to just have that easier travel, especially if you're packing light. And then when you're packing to go home, essentially you have more space as well to take more things. Also keep in mind of like what limits you're allowed to take size wise and weight wise, because we were lucky enough to have 23 kg each checked in luggage, so we was able to spread out weight between certain items that we got. If someone's items were a little bit bigger, we could put it in another suitcase. If it was a little bit heavy, surprisingly we were all actually under like about 13 kg, 14 kg. No one really hit the 20 mark. I think the highest was about 17 kg out of everyone's suitcase, and we fully packed them as well. Like I spent quite a bit out in Japan, let's say that. My fifth tip would be to take a travel card or a bank card that will allow for no fees when doing exchange rates. A lot of the times, a lot of people don't actually tell you this, and they'll say, oh, take cash, take cash, take cash. There's actually certain stores that we went to in certain shops that only take cards, surprisingly. So if you're rocking around with a load of money in cash and you need to pay in card, well, you can't. While yes, it is also still good to take cash, what we did was we basically split half of it into cash, half of it into card, or maybe like 60-40, just to be safe, because if we need to take cash out on our cards basically that we took, I'm not going to say the brand because I'm not being sponsored, but basically the card we used, we didn't have to pay any exchange fees, we didn't have to pay any tap fees, like there was no fees, and the exchange rate was very good. It's basically the same rate that we got when we exchanged in the UK for cash, so we weren't complaining there, and it fluctuates between like the most current exchange rate as well. So I highly recommend getting a card that has a good exchange rate and no fees. There are out there, it just depends on where you're from. I can't say for other countries what cards there are out there to use, but I can say for the UK there are definitely some I've used myself. And to be fair, even like your own personal bank account, you can use them cards depending on who you're with, and some of their rates are still good, and their charge fees only charge you when you go to a certain pay point. And even doing like the exchange rate when tapping cards, sometimes they'll say, oh, you might get charged extra. Actually we didn't. We paid the same amount that it was showing. We didn't pay an extra tax or anything like that, any exchange rate fees. Some cards might do that, but I know for sure the one that we used, that they didn't charge us extra at all. We could move money around like a normal bank card and use the money. So yeah, my recommendation would getting a bank card, travel card, or any card that basically allows you to do a straight exchange for no fee, which is very good to do. Tip number 6 would be have fun. Japan's a beautiful country with very nice and friendly people. The locals were very nice to us the entire time where we were staying. They were nice. The shops, they were nice. Walking around as well, people would come up to us and speak to us as well, see who we are, where we're coming from, because they might hear us speaking to each other. For example, me and my girlfriend, we just had a chat with some very nice lady, like 5-10 minutes. We just chilling in the road speaking. Japan's a beautiful country. I would recommend like exploring your local areas where you're staying, because there's hidden gems there. So like there's many temples around, shrines around, rivers as well. Like you'll be surprised, people don't mention it or really speak about what's in the local areas, because you see people go to Japan and they do like the main cities and stuff like that, but there's local parks that are nice, there's local centers that are nice, train stops as well, shopping malls. There's so much in Japan to see see and do that you can book things and not book things and still have an amazing time. And speaking about booking things, I would highly recommend booking at least like a minimum of 3 things to do, whether that be going to like an animal cafe. I know some people don't like doing that. Going to like a card shop, going to one of the skylines. So if you can, go in Tokyo Skytree or Shibuya Skyline, I might have butchered the names on them. Even booking restaurants as well, that's an activity at the same time, and there's some that we were looking at to do but we just didn't do because of locations and stuff like that. So I highly recommend doing something like that as an activity depending on which group you're with. So the activities we done were fairly fun. So as I said, Disneyland, we went to Animal Cafe, which is pretty nice. We went to the Skyline. Have activities booked and don't have activities booked at the same time. Having a nice little balance depending on how you're feeling, because when we went to Japan, we were very jet lagged. The first day we landed at 4 p.m, got to the hotel at 5 p.m, went around to dropped our stuff off, had showers, went to our local areas, for example the train stations that were near us, to get some food and some snacks and drinks, basically just to settle us down so we had something when we woke up. But we actually woke up like the next day, like around about 7 p.m. What you're watching now is basically tip 6. So having fun is so easy to do in Japan. It's nice, the weather is nice at times as well. Overall, just the experience of Japan is just amazing. There's different things for different people, different sights to see, different things to do, different activities, different everything. It's just amazing, futuristic. It's also got a nice past to it. Overall, I would recommend going, and I hope to go again soon. My final tip 7, would be to subscribe. It would mean a lot to me if you did enjoy this video and would like to see more of these. I've actually got some coming up hopefully fairly soon after this one's released. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like, give a comment of what you'd like to see in the future from me, if you'd like to see something like this again, or if you'd like to see something else. Please watch and enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.